What is up, gamers? Welcome to episode 2 of Coins Well Spent. In this series, we take a look at PC games that have just come out within the past week or so and cost less than $10. We're going to take a look at things such as graphics, artwork, storyline, gameplay, and overall completion, since some of these games might still be in early development. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It is a work in progress, and I appreciate your support. Hopefully, we'll continue to get better as the episodes progress. Alright, first up we have a game called Poker Adventures that runs for $3.99 on Steam. I think you can get it for $3.39 on sale right now. But yeah, this game is a poker card game where the goal is to collect points to beat that old man in the top left corner of the screen. Try to knock that cigarette out of his mouth. As you collect points, you also start to get a bonus cards that makes some hands more valuable than others. This is a pretty fun concept. Kind of, I think Balatro has a concept like this. The only problem with this game, however, is that system is pretty overpowering. I focused on flushes and anything with diamonds when I first started, which when I started getting diamond flushes, which was actually pretty easy to do when you get 3-4 discards and 8 cards overall. I was able to get a diamond flush just about every round, and as soon as I got even one of those things, I was completely dominating that old man. There was even the point where I got a royal flush and thought that I was about to have my highest hand ever, but it actually failed in comparison to the regular diamond flushes because that was where my bonus cards were driven toward. I think they just need to tweak that system a little bit. Maybe not give so much value to the bonus cards, or maybe make it a little bit harder to get hands that you're looking for. Overall, the game was fun. The graphics, it's a card game, so you can't really expect much with graphics. It's got a cartoony vibe to the artwork, a little bit of a storyline. It is pretty much, it's only $3.99. There are some issues. As you can see, sometimes there's errors with the names of the cards, but overall this is a fun game. I would say it's up. Next we have a game called Bearzerk that runs for $4.99 on Steam and is in early access. Actually, I think right now you can get it on sale for $4.24, which is kind of a random price. Bearzerk is a game where you run around as this cute little teddy bear carrying as many guns as possible that are constantly blasting these cute little evil bunnies that are trying to kill you. As you run around, you collect these little green gems, use the gems to buy more guns, different guns, upgrade your guns, upgrade your speed, this kind of stuff. The game is actually a lot of fun. It's got a cute little story to go with it. The artwork is cute. The graphics go well. It's a little indie game, so nothing too extensive. My favorite part of this game will have to be the music. The music is absolutely top notch. It's got some rock and roll, heavy metal vibes to it, which go hand in hand when you're blasting cute little stuffed animals. But overall, I would say this game is definitely worth the pickup for the $5. It's one that is, again, still in early access. There were a couple of bugs at one point. The controls completely flipped on me one time. I would hit up and I would go down. But that's the kind of stuff that is bound to happen in early access. And that's the stuff that I'm sure that they'll be able to fix as updates come out and we wait for the full version. But overall, Bearzerk, early access, $4.99. Yes, definitely worth picking up. The third game on our list is called Resist Mutants and sells on Steam for $6.99. Now, it didn't say it was early access, but with certain glitches going on in the game, plus certain things being disabled, such as network play, I'm going to say this seems to be an early access type of game. The premise is pretty simple. Fend off hordes of mutants with various guns and try to stay human. If the mutants kill you, you turn into one of them, and then your job is to hunt down the rest of the humans. This continues until only one human is left, which basically makes this into a last man standing type of a game. To be fair, the concept is actually pretty fun, and the graphics are surprisingly solid. But as entertaining as the first few rounds are, the novelty wears off faster than you'd expect. The mutants are nearly impossible to kill, and after a while, the running and gunning starts to get repetitive. Maybe once this game evolves and they finally flip the switch on multiplayer, it could be a blast to play with friends and see who can last the longest before turning into a mutant. But for now, $6.99 feels a little bit steep for what's essentially a repetitive survival mode with training wheels still attached. Next, we have a game called Deltascention, which is our most expensive game of this week at $9.99. This game is a first-person shooter where you're locked in a little room and you must try to survive as many rounds as possible against hordes of enemies. With each round, the room changes and the enemies become increasingly difficult. The artwork and design of the enemy are pretty basic, but the graphics aren't too bad. The best part about this game is the ability to be able to create your own layout of the rooms, which is great for those that like to design their own levels. Now, the main issue I had with this game, and feel free to leave a comment down below, let me know if I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the only person that is affected by this, but the way those exterior walls are designed, I could barely play this game. This game already requires a lot of running, jumping, changing the direction, and with those white lines scrolling on the exterior walls of the level, I literally would get nauseous just about every single time I played a round. Now, other than that, this game I guess was pretty fun, but that was such a deal breaker for me that I could barely play the game. At a price point of $9.99, hopefully that's something that they eventually fix, but in the meantime, it is not a game I can recommend. Alright, for the last game on our list, we have Super Loco World, which is on Steam for $9.99. I know I said the last game was the most expensive game on the list today, but that's because this one's actually on sale this week for $8.99. Super Loco World is by far my favorite game of the week. It is a simulation style game where you must help multiple cities/areas develop by connecting them by train so they get all the supplies they need in a timely fashion. Now, this might sound easy, and in the beginning it kind of is, but eventually it grows to be more and more difficult than it seems. Especially when you start to throw in challenges like keeping your trains fueled up, keeping them maintained, and my biggest challenge, which is keeping the trains from crashing into each other. There are multiple times while playing this game that I decided to start over and completely rebuild from scratch, which sounds like it would be a bad thing, but it was actually really fun. As you're developing your trains and your systems, you start to figure out better ways to do things, and you get excited to try a new way. Overall, for $10, this is a game that I definitely recommend and one that I know I will be continuing to play in the future. And that wraps things up for episode 2 of Coins Well Spent. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, please hit that like button, subscribe, leave some comments. Let me know what you think I should do different, do better. Let me know what you liked. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I look forward to making next week's episode.